Howdy, friends. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's the emergency session of the Bill Huston podcast. Today's date is March 31st, 2020. Tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Boy, we know who the fool is now. The fool is us. Because, we're going to get into it. This is really complicated because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I know you all know what I'm talking about. Because we're all enjoying lockdown right now. Let me just check one thing. Stand by. I'm gonna. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Leave a message in the chat if I sound okay. If the sound and the video is both good. Okay, hang on. I just have to change. Okay, we got 7 viewers. Somebody let me know if the sound is okay, please. So we're going to get into this in just a second, what this is all about. This is kind of an amazing thing. First of all, we got this crazy COVID-19 business, right, where we're all under lockdown. And so I just, the thought occurred to me that this would happen. And I I'm like, they can't be this corrupt. They can't be this criminal to take advantage of martial law. I'll be 60 years old this year. Who's out there that's my age or older? Tell me the last time we had martial law in your lifetime. Never. I don't think there's a person alive today. I think I have to turn down. Hold on one second, because I think I'm peeking out here. I'm peeking out, peeking out, peeking out. Check. Okay. So we're all in uncharted territory here, and everything is shut down. And the fucking DEC, pardon my German, issues a permit for a hazardous waste incinerator in the middle of a shutdown. Really? Is that right? Is that what's really happening? Governor Cuomo, this is Cuomo's DEC. They follow his orders. He said, move it. Governor Cuomo is exploiting this pandemic or this plandemic, one of the two. Whatever it is, Governor Cuomo is exploiting it to violate your rights and my rights. And that's a fact. And I'm going to show you the evidence here coming up right now. I've got all the documentation here. Thank you very much to the person who sent it to me. God knows why the DEC didn't send me a copy, because I am on the list. So I appreciate the person. I won't say your name unless you want to take credit for it. You can take credit if you want to. But somebody sent me this, and it's atrocious. The DEC is violating the law. They lied. They lied on the seeker documents. I'm just reporting the facts here, because there's no way the DEC doesn't know it. What the hell? Sorry about that. I got to go to this mode here. All right, now I'm going to be able to. The DEC was put on notice because I'm the one that did it. I put them on notice, and I said, you can't do it. This is a showstopper. Jim Emke came out and shot an interview with me. It never made it to TV, but I told him this very thing. There's no way they can legally issue this permit. No way. They can't do it. But they did it. They don't give a shit about the law. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation does not give a shit about violating their own law. They don't. And anybody that wants to kind of purport a myth that the Democrats are somehow going to save us, that the Democrats are somehow more sensitive to environmental issues, I don't see any evidence of that. I see evidence to the contrary. It's the Democrats that are selling us out. Governor Cuomo is a Democrat. Jason Garner is a Democrat. Donna Lupardo is a Democrat. John Bertoni, Democrat. John Bertoni, former mayor of Village of Endicott. Now he's retired, but he was a Democrat. And all of them were on board for this thing. All of them. And they were all Democrats. And there's a clear violation of the law. And it's called zoning. Okay? We're going to go through this, okay? So let's take this a step at a time. And this might be take me a little bit of time. I kind of rushed to get everything together here. It might take me a little time to gather all the materials together, but we're going to go through this step by step, okay? Hang with me, friends. How many people? We got 6 viewers now, okay? So I'm still looking for somebody to tell me in the chat. 6 viewers. First of all, please press the like button. Press the like button if you can. That would be very helpful. All right, I'm just going to check this really quick here. How many people? We got 6 viewers. Okay, it does sound okay. It sounds good. All right, so I'm going to keep on going here. But please press the like button, okay? So if you're just tuning in, I'm just going to recap really quick what's going on here, okay? For the people that might be just joining, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation just issued the this permit. I don't know why I'm getting that lag. That's kind of weird. I've never seen that video lag before. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation just did this during a pandemic. How the hell do we mobilize Little Rock? Wow. Nice to see you from Little Rock. I have friends from Little Rock, and I also did a lot of study about that Mayflower Dilbit spill back in 2013, and I know that you all are downstream of that. So hi there, Little Rock. That's pretty cool. All right, so I kind of lost my train of thought here. So the New York State DEC, during a pandemic, issued a permit illegally for a hazardous waste incinerator in the Village of Endicott, where I live, okay? And let's just go through this. All right, stand by. Just hang with me, friends, and let me know, please, if everything sounds okay. If there's somebody listening, we got 5 now. Good. Okay. I got to find the right stack here. Okay. All right, so this is the permit, and I need to make a little change here. Just stand by for 1 second so that I can see a little bit better. I need to see a little bit better. There we go. That's pretty cool. All right, so how are y'all doing? Is everybody enjoying the shutdown? I'm kind of hanging in there myself, surprisingly so. I've been in crisis for about my life has been in crisis for about the last 20 months. But suddenly when everybody's life is in crisis, I feel like I have a pretty clear head right now. I guess I'm just used to living in crisis. But anyway, so let's go through this. This is I gotta go to the top. This is the permit. This isn't the document that I wanted. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Do I have it open already? The permit signed. I don't need that. I just want the cover letter. There we go. Okay, via email only to interested parties and stakeholders. which is funny because I'm an interested party and a stakeholder, and I didn't get this email. My friend sent it to me. Thank you again to the person who sent it to me. I'm not on the list, apparently. I was on the list, but they didn't send it to me. I just think that's very curious because they know I'm the one leading the the opposition to this thing. Okay. Regarding Sun, they don't even look at this. Look at how ridiculous. They rushed this through so badly. Boy, I can't. How do I? It's hard to. There we go. They don't even fucking spell the name of the facility correctly. Pardon my German. I am pissed. I am very angry. The DEC, look at how slipshod they are. They can't even spell the name of the company correctly. Sug eel. It's not Sug eel. It's like the person's, maybe their hands were shaking because they had a gun to their head or something that they were as they were typing. I don't know. But on May 29, 2019, Sungeel MCC Americas LCC submitted its application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for an air state facility permit for a lithium-ion battery recycling facility located at the Huron Business Campus on Clark Street. That's arguable if that's Clark Street. I think it's Franklin Street, but regardless. The permit application was deemed complete, and a public comment period for the above referenced application ran from October 9th to December 5th. Well, how generous of you. You are receiving this update on the DEC review because you submitted comments. We're submitting this. We're sending this to everybody that submitted a comment except Bill Huston because we know he's a troublemaker. DEC DEC has reviewed. Stand by. DEC has reviewed the submitted comments and prepared a summary of the comments in the attached response to comments document, along with the summary of the relevant comments. DEC's responses are also provided. They didn't answer the most pressing issue. We're going to get to that. I'm going to show you, okay? Just stand by. Hang with me, friends. And if you have any questions, ask in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as we go. Kind of trying to keep an eye on that. Based on our careful review of the application materials and applicable regulatory standards, the department has issued the Air State Facility permit for the facility. A copy of the permit is attached. Blah, blah, blah. Who's this? Scott Sheely, Deputy Chief. I've never heard of Scott E. Sheely before. Deputy Chief. Isn't that interesting? I've never heard that name before. We were dealing with, what was the guy's, Delu Galinsky. What was his first name? Hold on one second. Stand by. Who's ever calling me on the phone, I can't really talk to you now. Okay, so let's just continue. I mean, if the person's calling, if you want to call into the show, please call into the show, and I'll put the number up in a second. If somebody wants to call in and by voice, by telephone, please leave something in the chat. Say something, and I'll set that up. It's all ready to go, so it's going to be easy for me to do. Okay, so, all right, so that's the cover letter. Now, that's the permit. We don't really care about the permit. There's one other thing. I want to show you the response packet, the response documents. Okay. Give me 1 second. Responsiveness summary. It's a responsiveness summary. We're summarizing how terribly responsive we were. And when we say terribly, we mean terribly. All right. So let's kind of go through this. So Comment 4. That's going to be number 4 is the key one we're going to get to. But let's just read through some of this, okay? By the way, I work in the public interest. I really survive on donations and grants, and I've had trouble. It's difficult fundraising anyway before the pandemic. So I really am in a financial crisis right now, and I'm trying to just keep my internet and my phone turned on and keep a roof over my head and to be able to, buy some essential supplies. And so I appreciate donations in any amount to support my work, and the link is right down below there, tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Huston. That's PayPal. If you need to send me a check or money order, I'll put up my address, my snail mail address, a little bit later. I don't think I have that here. Yes, I do. There's my snail mail address, William Huston, P.O. Box 22, Endicott, New York, 13761. So you can pause the video if you need to see that address. Just come back to this spot. I'm going to leave it up for another 2 seconds here. P.O. Box 22, it's William Huston. That's my legal name. Endicott, New York, 13761. Okay, back to this. So we have... This is the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, DEC, response to comments. This is the SMCC Lib Recycling Facility. I don't know what lib means. Lithium-ion battery. Now, there's the facility ID. March 27th. Today's the 31st. When was the 27th? Friday. They always issue these on a Friday. Yep, they always issue on a Friday. So I didn't get this on Friday. Did anybody else? Jim Little, you're still in the chat. Did you get this on Friday? Did you get a copy of this? I know you're on the list too. So, background, description of the action. We're gonna recycle lithium-ion batteries by smashing them up. Minimum wage jobs, dangerous, dirty, minimum wage jobs within a building located at 801 Clark Street. On here on campus, the batteries will come from electric vehicles, cell phones, and other electronic devices. Batteries are discharged using... Battery cases will be dismantled into cells. The cells will be heated in a rotary furnace. It's actually, they used to call it a kiln, rotary dryer. And it's an incinerator. It's a hazardous waste incinerator. That's what this thing is, and I have all the documents to prove it. I've done prior videos on this, and we can go through those documents again if you want to. I'll bring them up. But this is an incinerator, and they were arguing with the DEC. The attorney for the applicant was calling it an incinerator, okay? So that's what this thing is. Administrative summary. We put out the notice on October 9th, provided a 30-day comment period based on public comments received. The DEC extended the comment period for a total of 57 days. We did not make the application materials and draft permit available on the internet like, the modern age. We sent a paper copy to the library, and they did include like a version on a thumb drive. So that was very nice of them. So I was able to go in with my laptop and I copied the documents on a thumb drive, and I put them on the internet. Just regular Joe citizen here. I don't know why the DEC can't do it. So, response to comments. Let's just go through these. Let's see. You received a copy. We're talking about the draft. Did you receive a copy on Friday, Jim? That's the question. Okay. Comment 1. A commenter asked if emissions will be below DEC regulations, what the standards are, and how were they established. What research related to health and other factors helped establish the standards? Is there a list of research studies and any other relevant information? Response 1. I got to get over here. Response 1. Air permits and registrations issued by the Department of Environmental Conservation authorize construction and operation of air pollution sources. For an owner to receive a permit, the facility must demonstrate that it will be compliant with, or at least below, levels prescribed in DEC air permitting regulations. In other words, make a guess and put it on the piece of paper. It's guesswork. There's no telling what the actual emissions are going to be until they actually build it. And once they build it, even if they don't pass the emissions like they said they were going to, it's almost impossible to stop these facilities. So they make this sound like it's all been approved and it's all copacetic, but it's really based on bad science that they can demonstrate on a permit with a very, very casual review and not insufficient public comment time that they can rush this thing through and violate the law while they're doing it. I don't think so. The facility is not subject to a major new source review, which is a completely arbitrary threshold. The list of potential applicable state regulations can be found at this. The list of potentially applicable federation. Yep, there's the federal regulations. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just cut to the chase. Let me tell you what the most important thing. Let's read about this. Commenters requested the public comment period be extended, requested a public hearing. Let's hear the excuse about why they can't give a public hearing to Endicott, a place that's already contaminated with industrial pollution from IBM. Let's hear why they couldn't give us a public hearing, the DEC. The department initially received an application for the air facility registration on, and they're still this is the thing. I'm going to skip that point. Let's just continue reading this. Air facility registration on January 2, 2019. While the facility was eligible to operate under a registration because it was below predicted, the predictions were below emissions limits. That's what they should say. They got those two words backwards. It should say because the prediction was below the emissions limit. They don't know what the actual emissions are going to be until they build it. And otherwise require a permit. The department instead required the applicant to apply for a much more stringent air state facility permit. Ooh, wow. I wonder if they got writer's cramp or something when they finished filling the form out. The department used its discretion to require a permit so that it could impose conditions, special conditions for safety, and allow for public comment. The department followed its Uniform Procedure Act. In other words, they don't even answer the question about the public hearing. They're just saying we followed our own rules. Screw you. Yeah. Hi Vera and hi Endicott. Dumped on again. So Vera, since you just jumped on, I'm going to say before. What's all the message retracted, Jim? I'm not even seeing what you're saying. Message retracted. Okay, whatever. Vera. I have the capability of going live. Do you want to call in? If you want to call in, I will put the number up in a second. So just stand by and hang on. Let me just check one thing. It's so complicated doing this. Okay. And allow for public comment. This is just despicable because, once again, they completely didn't answer the question about... So the project was being rushed through. Yeah, fast-tracked. A lot of us said that. There it is, rushed through. Can I get any closer without getting cut off? Rushed through. Requested a public hearing. They didn't even answer. They're just like, whoop, screw you. Law doesn't require public view. Fuck you, Endicott. You're already contaminated. Screw you. That's their attitude. That's Governor Cuomo, Democrat. That's Jason Garner, Democrat. This is Donna Lupardo, Democrat. They're the ones that have all signed off on this thing. So one thing you might do, it's kind of too late. If you want to call Donna Lupardo or Jason Garner or your elected official, and if you're in Endicott or downwind like Binghamton and Vestal, this is going to... the wind pattern, it's going to head straight down to what's that Town Square Mall? What's the name of the mall where Walmart is on 434 in Vestal? That's where the wind patterns is. It's going to go to the south east. So all the people, everybody that goes to Walmart and Vestal should be concerned about this, because this is going to impact your air when you're in the area. Okay, you're watching. That's amazing. I'm still amazed by all this technology that Vera is able to be driving and watching a YouTube show. That's pretty cool. That's amazing. Let's go on. This is somebody says about below the noise level, concerned that lithium could be emitted. Well, we're concerned about a lot of things being emitted, not just lithium. Oh, here they mentioned about the stack height. Okay, and I don't think I said, I don't remember what I asked for. I don't think it was 200 feet. I think it was more than that. It was the level of the hills, which I think is 400 feet. I said it should be 400 feet. I'll find my comment in a minute. Dispersion modeling, taking into consideration the proximity and elevation of the nearby receptive. Yeah, like the ball fields where the kids play, and the carousel park where the families go to play, and Little Italy where all the restaurants are, and all those homes up on the north side where a lot of people live. Don't worry, dispersion modeling, taking into consideration the proximity and elevation of nearby receptives, like in your bedroom with your window open in the middle of summer, breathing this stuff. You're the receptor that they're talking about. Nearby receptors, that's you and me. Shows that air impacts with the proposed stack configuration meet department guidelines and standards. Does that make you feel better? It doesn't make me feel better. In general, a taller stack will result in better dispersion and lower predicted ambient concentrations than a shorter stack. Exactly. And in some instances, a facility owner might be able to raise a given stack height in lieu of installing add-on control equipment to meet ambient guidelines. Stacks must be tall enough to prevent excessive concentrations in the outdoor atmosphere. However, EPA limits the height of stack. What? With respect to the amount of dispersion benefit that can be used to meet limits the... What? I'm going to have to look that up. These documents, by the way, are on the Dropbox, okay? I'm going to put up... Maybe I should put that up right now so that you can get it. Uh-oh. That shouldn't be up there. Dropbox. It's called Tiny URL. Let me just verify that. Stand by 1 second, because I want to... Oh, boy. I'm worked up, friends. I am pissed about this. I am pissed off. Where is it? I guess I gotta go to my sent folder. It's not it. Stand by, stand by. This is live. Breaking, there it is. Okay. Yeah, tinyurl.com/Endicott battery incinerator. Run that all together. Tinyurl, Uniform Romeo Lima. tinyurl.com/Endicott battery incinerator. Go there and then navigate down into, you'll see Enter Archive. Just click on that. Read the notice if you want to at that level. And then go click on Enter Archive. And then look for a folder called 2020-0330, permit issued. Probably should have said 27. I named it 30. That's when I saw something with that date on it. I'm not sure that's actually correct now. Then select the 3 files and click download. And that's as simple as it takes. Or you can download each one individually, or you can browse them online. So I want more people to, besides just me, to look over these permit materials. We need more eyes on this. it's just good for people to pay attention to it. I mean, we don't really need eyes on the permit right now. What we There is something we need to do. We need to sue the DEC. That's what we need to do. Really, we need to find an attorney right now that will take this on, and we also might need to raise about, I'd say, $3,000 to $5,000 as a retainer for the attorney. That's what an attorney is going to cost. So unless we can find one, unless we can get some attorney that'll take this on pro bono, or at least file something to try to jam this up, to try to reserve some rights or something until we can really, I don't know what. We need to find an attorney, and we very likely will need to fundraise. Not for me, for the attorney. That's the program. But let's get into exactly what this problem is, okay? This isn't even the stack height. We haven't even gotten to what I consider to be the showstopper. There's one showstopper in here that's the most important one, and that's coming up really soon. In fact, I'm going to just scan this one for many commenters suggest that locating the facility in Endicott is not appropriate or a bad idea from an environmental perspective and a safety perspective. One commenter said that he welcomed the facility in Endicott and believed that the proposed emissions control would adequately abate pollutants. Boy, guess who that sounds like? Somebody that's in the chat right now. But I know other people have said that too. Everybody, I know people in the Sierra Club, the local Sierra Club, that feel this way. Hey, if it's going to meet the permit conditions, where are the skeptical people? Where are the people that look at this stuff and don't trust the government? Because how many times has the government ever screwed us over before? Has the government ever looked the other way and allowed industrial polluters to get away with murder, almost literally? How many times? Lots of times. Lots and lots of times, okay? Look them over, and then let's figure out what a plan is. And by the way, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to put out the details a little bit later, but we're going to have a call-in. I'll put out the details just by my voice, which I'm starting to lose. We're going to have a live call-in show, a conference call, Wednesday, April 1st. In fact, I might just do it as a conference call and not live stream it, because there might be some confidential strategies that we discuss that, anybody can join the call, but, we just might have it be just us talking and not recorded, or not live streamed anyway. That'll be tomorrow, Wednesday, April 1st at 10 a.m. We're going to have a conference call. Here's the call-in information: 712-770-4726. Just hold on. I'm going to make a graphic. It's just going to take me 1 second. Okay, what is this? This is really... Okay, stand by. I'm just... So, get out your pencil, or just remember this if you can. You probably won't remember that. You want to get something to write this down on, okay? So basically, the call-in number is 712-770-4726. The PIN is 954763. It's going to be tomorrow. We're going to do 2 sessions to make sure. I know most people are staying home, but just in case somebody isn't available in the morning or the evening, we're going to do one in the morning and one in the evening. So hopefully we'll get as many people that want to participate in this, and we'll talk about what we need to do to stop this hazardous waste incinerator in the village of Endicott, which is already contaminated with industrial pollution from IBM many years ago. There's the call-in info. tomorrow at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Once again, you can back the video up and write this down, okay? So I'm not going to leave it up for very long. Let's take it down. So I have to take a drink. Just check this really quick. I don't know why my camera glitches like that. Driving, want to call in, environmental justice issue. Okay, I'll set up the. That's actually the same information. Let me put that up for you, Vera. This is for Vera and for anybody else that wants to call in. Anybody that wants to call in, you can call in right now. If you want to talk about this in real time, this is the number to call. 712-770-4726. 712-770-4726. Did you get that? The PIN is 954763. I don't know how you can... if you can write that down while you're driving, Vera, or if you can remember it, I don't know. But anybody else that wants to call in, this is the call-in number. You can call in right now, and when I see people jumping on, I'll connect to the bridge, and we'll discuss this. I have one more important piece of information I'm putting out there. I want to put out there before we take the calls. Okay, so hang on. Oh, I put it all right there. Okay. No, there's nobody dialed in yet. All right, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Everybody hanging with me? How many people we got? Who's hanging with me? Who? Charles Jaco is hysterical. Who is hanging with me? Who's out there? Who's hanging with me? Okay. So we still got 3. Good. We're going to keep going. Maybe we'll pick up some more as we continue here. All right. Zoning, friends. Zoning. Zoning is the big issue here, okay? Zoning is the big issue here. Zoning is police powers. Zoning is the ability for a community to either, relegate certain dangerous activities to certain areas that are zoned industrial, or they can put certain commercial businesses in areas that are zoned commercial. And you can build houses in places that are zoned residential. And the purpose of zoning is public health and safety. The purpose of the police powers is public health and safety. The purpose of environmental laws is public health and safety. Okay? Are we seeing a pattern here? Environmental laws are police powers. Zoning is police powers. Okay? It's meant to protect the community. It's one example where the local community has the greatest control, including over violations by the state. That's what's happening here. What's happening here is the state of New York is running roughshod over the rights of the village of Endicott, the residents of the village of Endicott, and everybody that's downwind. There was no public hearing, and there were clear abuses and violations of law in the seeker procedure and in the entire so-called environmental review. There were procedural errors that makes this illegal. They didn't even give us the barest minimum in terms of public hearing, in terms of attention and care, treating us as an environmental justice community. Nothing. The DEC basically didn't lift a finger to make these permit materials available to us, or even inform the public of what's going on, or give us an opportunity to voice our opposition to this. So here we are in the middle of a pandemic, okay? Never happened before. Vera, I think you're older than I am. Jim Little, you might be older than me. This has never happened in any of our lifetimes. Maybe in some other place around the world there's been martial law declared, not in the United States. So this is totally unprecedented what's going on here. And Governor Cuomo is gaming this thing. He is using this thing as an opportunity to ram this toxic, hazardous waste incinerator into an already contaminated village of Endicott while none of us can leave our homes. That's what's happening here. Governor Cuomo is using the excuse of this pandemic and our inability, or this great hindrance that's been given to us for our ability to mobilize a defense on this. He's pushing this thing down our throats, and they are ignoring local law, local zoning law. I'm going to show you, okay? Yeah, I'm not even going to read that one. Oh, here, listen to this. Many commenters suggested that locating the facility in Endicott is not appropriate or is a bad idea from an environmental perspective and safety perspective. One commenter, yeah, I'm not even going to read that one. Somebody is an ass kisser. Please give us the incinerator, oh great DEC. We trust you. Who said that? The department has conducted an environmental evaluation pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review. See amended negative declaration. That's interesting. We got to look for that in a second. The amended negative declaration. Let's see what that said, because it was the negative declaration, which is a seeker document, where they lied and said there was no material conflict with local zoning. And by the way, I just talked to somebody today, somebody that works, an official of the village of Endicott, and they told me that this company has not even gone and gotten a building permit from code. Because if they had, code would have looked at this zoning issue and denied a building permit, because it clearly violates the code. There is an industrial waste, a hazardous waste incinerator is not permitted in the village of Endicott under any zoning district. That is a fact. It's not permitted. It's not a permitted land use. You have to change the law, or theoretically, I guess, maybe the village board could issue a variance, I guess. They can issue a variance for anything, maybe. I even heard somebody told me they can't issue a variance. So they didn't even go and get a frickin' building permit. That's how cavalier this whole operation is, and how they're running roughshod over Village of Endicott's local code. So we definitely have to. We're going to look for this negative declaration coming up. Let's keep on reading this, which assess the impact of the facility on community character. And in this evaluation, discuss the fact that the facility is located in an industrial zone and reuses a building that was used for industrial activities. In other words, screw you, Endicott. You're already contaminated. And they're just saying it's already an industrial zone, so, if it's not in other words, the village of Endicott couldn't theoretically change their zoning to alter alter the definition of a zone that building is in, and that law doesn't matter because because it's in an industrial zone. They can do whatever the hell they want to. That's what they're saying here. We can avoid following local law because it's an industrial zone. Doesn't matter that it's not a permitted land use. Let's go look at that right now. Let's go look that up. Okay? We have to look that up. Stand by. Say hi if you're still listening. Say something in the chat. Let me know you're still out there. Okay, let's look this up. I do know it's section 300. It's section 300. Section 300. Woof. Woof, said the dog. I have a doggy neighbor. All right, let's... Can you see that? Okay, you can. So here we go. I don't like that. Wait a minute. Okay. Here it is. Zoning, chapter 300. See that? Let's go there. Here it is. Okay. Zoning. So let's look for the word. Is it all expanded, or do I have to? Let's look at terminology first of all. I know this is a good one to look at. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. How do I clear that? Manufacturing, okay? Any factory, shop. I'm getting a little ahead. This is going to make more sense if I show you another page first. So please stand by 1 second. Oh, I've done something to my back. All this sitting and not enough walking. Chapter 300, zoning. Okay, introductory, general language, residential. Okay, here we go. Let's look up industrial districts, shall we? Let's look up what is an industrial district. Let's look that up. So here are the permitted land uses. You can see this, right? Here are the permitted land uses. So we've got several types. We've got P, which is a permitted land use. So if you want to build a warehouse or enclosed storage in an industrial zoned area, that is, I can't get over that far. That is P. P means permitted. If it's in an industrial land use, it's permitted. You don't have to get a special permit. You can just build it. You know, there might be some other planning board approval that needs to be done, but basically you're not going to hit a zoning issue if you want to build a warehouse in an industrial zone. Where are we? We're in Table 22-1 of Endicott Village Code, Section 300, industrial districts. We're talking about an industrial zone. That's where this facility is, okay? It's zoned industrial. So let's have a look-see, and let's see what kind of land uses are permitted in an industrial zone, shall we? So we went through this before in another video, and you should look at that because I went all through this step by step. I'm going to have to call up this stand by. All right, stand by. I'm got to get a document here so that I can read it to you. I'm glad there's still a few people hanging out this late on a Wednesday, Tuesday night. It's still Tuesday. I got to get another drink. This is... I put in too many. I put in too many min terms. There it is. Okay. Oh. I'm not sure that this is... Okay, here we go. This is this is the DEC. It's on DEC letterhead. See that? DEC letterhead. And who are they writing to? They're writing to Dale Vollmer, who is the engineer that the applicant has hired to help them get the permit passed. He used to work for the DEC, Dale Vollmer. Okay? So what we're trying to determine is, in terms of zoning, what the hell is this thing? What is it? So what does the applicant think it is? And what does the EPA think it is? What's the DEC think it is? So according to this discussion from the DEC, he's saying the purpose of this letter is to advise you that the rotary dryer proposed by SMCC may be subject to US EPA's rule for commercial and industrial incinerators. Okay? Incinerators. Let's jump over to the code really quick. And let's go back to that section where it's a table of land uses. Lumberyard. Nope. Warehouse and enclosed storage. Nope. Food processing. Baking. Is that an incinerator? Nope. Enclosed assembly of previously manufactured assembly of goods. That's not an incinerator. No. Contractor and building material storage yard. No. Printing and publishing of books. No. Enclosed research, development, and experimental or testing lab. No. Laundries or dry cleaning. No. Extractive or mining operations. Arguable, but guess what? Special permit. SP. It requires a special permit. Even if you want to call this urban mining, requires a special permit, requires going to the zoning board, which they didn't do. They didn't even get a building permit. Enclosed processing of raw materials. Maybe. Incinerator. Does an incinerator like enclosed processing of raw materials? That would be really tricky to call that an incinerator that. Regardless, it requires a special permit. They didn't apply for a special permit. Transportation and freight terminal facilities, no. Enclosed fabric and clothing production facilities, no. Outdoor operations and storage, no. Self-service storage facility, no. Manufacturing, not including handling of waste products. Well, this is a waste product, so it can't be that. It still requires, that's a permitted, if it's manufacturing, is an incinerator part of a manufacturing process? Are they going to try to say that? It sounds like an incinerator and crash and bash, those two things combined, is disassembly. It's not building something, it's unbuilding it. It's taking it apart and processing the raw materials. It's a smelter. It's a metals smelter. That's what this thing is a smelter is not manufacturing. I doubt they can call it that. What's left? Manufacturing, including waste products or materials. Special permit. They didn't apply for one. Junkyard. No. So then here's commercial. That doesn't even apply. Here's industrial. This is all of the industrial land uses that are permitted in the village of Endicott. And you can clearly see that an incinerator, and there's different names that they've called it. There was another document I wanted to show for you. It's the document that, it's the one, the attorney. This is the document that the applicant, the attorney for the applicant, sent out. His name is Thomas J. Fusillo. Or maybe it's Fuccio. Thomas J. Fusillo or Fuccio. May 9th, 2019, okay? So, once again, here's the question we're asking. What is this thing? What is it? What is this thing in terms of code? The code requirements, code or zoning. What is it? Let's ask the applicant. This is the applicant. This is the attorney for the applicant, okay? I thought that I had this highlighted. I'm hoping that it's highlighted. That wasn't my highlight. Okay, so this isn't, unfortunately, this isn't the one that's highlighted. But I'm going to zoom you in right to it. First of all, they call it a universal waste. Here it is. They say it's basically the applicant telling the DEC that they want to operate a universal waste destination facility. Okay? What is universal waste? It's a PSYOP is what it is. Because okay. Where do you see this, friends? Universal waste is a category of waste materials designated as, read that. Make it bigger. How can I? There. Do you see that, friends? Do you see what I'm looking at? Universal waste is a category of waste materials designated as hazardous. So when they say universal waste, it sounds a little bit kind of, it sounds kind of warm and cozy. Universal waste. Yeah, that sounds okay. I wouldn't mind some universal waste processing facilities moving in next to me. It sounds nice. But it's hazardous waste by definition. Okay? So they're talking about burning at ultra high temperature in an incinerator, according to the applicant. The applicant calls it an incinerator. Okay? That it burns, they want to burn hazardous waste with a 111-foot stack in downtown Endicott. So that's what they're doing. So back to this. I don't care about the permit. I don't care about that one for now. Here it is. Okay, this is the attorney for the applicant. And so the DEC has apparently some laws on their book. It's actually regulations. 6 NYCRR 373.1 and the rest of these here is they're saying that this facility is not only a universal waste destination facility, but it's also subject to permitting as a hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal facility. So there we see once again is the word hazardous waste. Okay, so we've seen it twice. The first time was in the definition of a universal waste destination facility, and the second one is right here. The DEC is saying it's going to be subjected to permitting as a hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal facility. Okay, let's go back. We're going to go back and look at the code. This is what's permitted and what's specially permitted. In this first group right here is industrial. It's in an industrial land use. So let's look at this. Hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal facility. Lumberyard, no. Warehousing and enclosed storage, no. Food processing, no. It's not a permitted land use. This is zoning. This is the police powers. This is Endicott's local law being violated by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. And we are all under lockdown. We are all under quarantine and curfew, whatever you want to call it. We got to stay in our homes. So the Governor Cuomo and his DEC are taking advantage of this extremely rare and highly unusual circumstance that has not happened in my entire lifetime. And I'm 60. I'll be 60 this year. This is an unprecedented disaster, an emergency, and he just issued a permit for a hazardous waste facility in Endicott that's not following the law. Come on. You got to be kidding me. A Democrat, they're talking about, this guy's, everybody's saying we got to draft Cuomo because Joe Biden doesn't even know doesn't know where he is. He can't formulate a complete sentence. And the whole Democratic Party establishment is, got all their bets on groping Joe. He's accused of rape. Joe Biden. That's our guy. That's going to be the leader of the free world. He pushes around union leaders. He shoves them. He gets in people's faces and says, vote for somebody else. When they say, hey, Joe, you got to ban fracking. He's like, get the hell out of here. Vote for somebody else. Vote for the other Joe. Brett says, universal waste is very interesting. Most people outside the environmental community have no idea about it. I believe it. I didn't. I really don't care about all this stuff that I dig into. I would rather be, playing guitar, making music, reading, doing spiritual practice, reading Indian spiritual books. There's lots of things I'd rather be doing than doing this. But yeah, most people are like that, Brett. You're absolutely right. You are totally right that people have no idea. I didn't have any idea about it. And, I try to follow this stuff pretty carefully. I had to go look that up. It's like universal waste. I never heard that before. Why don't we just call it hazardous waste? Are we trying to hide something? I'm going to have to take a break here coming up pretty soon here, friends, and I appreciate you all hanging in there and staying with us. But I hope you can see, friends, that this is not legal. Now listen to what this attorney says. This is very interesting. It is crucial to the economic viability of this facility to avoid the onerous TSDF regulatory scheme by meeting the exemption contained in 6 NYR. See, they're trying to get an exemption from following environmental law. That's what this is all about. He's like, it would be too cost prohibitive. Providing with the manifest, he's just trying to do some special record keeping in order to get an exemption from the law. SMCC recognized that a destination facility, that's another kind of creepy word, what do you call this? This is it just seems like deceptive language. Destination. It's a universal waste destination facility, meaning a place where they put a big pile of hazardous waste and burn it. It's not exempt from weird noise. It's not exempt from TSDF requirements if the hazardous waste being recycled is stored at that facility prior to recycling. So we talked about this in prior videos. They're playing games. They're they're splitting this facility in two, and they're saying it's two different facilities, even though they're adjacent. They're right across the street from each other. And they're trying to say it's a different facility, even it's all here on campus, and they're saying that it's different just to get around this. They're trying to get an exemption through some legal shenanigans. And the DEC just let them do it. DEC didn't put up a fuss. We put up a fuss. DEC is letting them get away with this. This is Governor Cuomo. This is the guy they're talking about. They want to make him president. And he's trying to take advantage of us, the little people in the village of Endicott and downwind, and contaminate us. Even further than we've already been contaminated. And the applicant is trying to get an exemption from following environmental law. And they're talking about creating, I think I missed it. I think it was up here. They were talking about creating a separate legal entity. They're going to create like a shell corporation to basically get around this requirement. It's funny business. So we're going to have a conference call coming up tomorrow. Let me set this up. All right. Is anybody on the call? Let's see if anybody called in here. I don't see anybody. So, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to put up that's the wrong one. Hold on. We're going to take some phone calls, friends. So if you want to call in, if you want to call in, there is the call-in number. If anybody wants to talk about this, or we could open it up to general topics if you want to, but I really wanted to focus this show on this Endicott battery permit. We can talk about the virus, the COVID stuff, the lockdown, anything you want to. This is the live call-in segment of the show. If anybody wants to call in, that's the number, and I am going to take a quick break and I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to give you some music to listen to. I'm going to take a quick break and then I'll come back and take some phone calls. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. All right, friends. We are back. Hopefully you're not... That's all off. That couldn't possibly... Okay. All right, friends. I can see we have a caller. So let me see if I can make this connection work.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Vera, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to turn you down a tiny bit. So, how you holding up? Are you in New York or Pennsylvania or someplace else?
No, I'm home.
Okay. Yep. So how are you? How are you holding up? And what do you? What's just really up for you right now at the moment? Anything, or do you want to make a comment about this Endicott thing, or? Hello, Vera.
There's like a delay. There's a delay.
Are you listening on your computer, or are you listening to me on your phone?
I'm listening on my phone.
Turn down your computer and just talk to me on the phone, because that'll work the best.
No, I'm just on my phone. I'm not on a computer at all.
Okay, when you say there's a delay, where are you hearing? Are you listening to the live stream on your phone?
Yeah, I'm listening. Oh, no, I was listening. Oh no, I'm watching the live stream on YouTube. Listening to it on YouTube.
Okay, pause the YouTube and the delay will go away. Just pause the YouTube and just talk to me like we're doing.
Okay.
Can you do that?
I can try. Let's see. Let's see if I go back on the phone. I guess I got disconnected and return. Can you hear me now? I'm on the phone.
I can hear you. Do you still have an echo, or did that clear up?
That cleared up, yeah, when I paused the video.
Okay.
The YouTube.
Yep. So, what do you think about this? I mean, is there anything? Do you just want to check in for a second and just say what's going on for you? Or do you want to talk about what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I can respond to the incinerator thing.
Okay.
I think it's the usual environmental justice issue. You know, Endicott, in that section of Endicott, if I can remember correctly where it is, it's, you know, low-income people, working-class people, poor people, and they can just be sacrificed. They can be dumped on. They're expendable. So if it was a expensive area or high-class type of group of people, upscale, they wouldn't be dumping like this. So these people, you know, there's a bunch of, the way I have that image of Endicott, all kinds of people besides druggies, drug dealers. It has a bad rep in many ways, and so they're expendable.
Right.
They'll do anything. They can do anything they want. They can approve things. They can give you hearings. Means nothing. They'll just listen to you. You know, just to placate you, but they'll still do it.
Right. No, I agree with your assessment. I mean, this is by definition an environmental justice community, and there are special considerations in the law for treating an environmental justice community, and it has to do with giving a public hearing and making.
Forget that public hearing stuff. Is all garbage. They're not going to hear you. They'll just placate you. They'll play with you. Okay, we'll give you a hearing, and they're going to do it anyway. What does it mean? Nothing. Just wasting your time. You're basically just like you were expendable with the IBM area. Anything near there, anything within whatever, a mile or two, it's all sacrificial area. So why don't they put it next to, like, Doug Garner's home? Where does he live?
Jason
Shenango Bridge? Where does he live?
Jason Garner.
Why don't they put it there? Jason Garner, yeah, Jason Garner. Why don't they put it next to his home? Why don't they put it next to Donna Lupardo's home? Where does she live? What's her section? Where does she live? Let's put it there.
Donna Lupardo actually lives downwind. She lives in up in the hills in Endwell.
So put it in the end hills of Endwell.
Well,
why don't they put something there?
That's what's ironic about this. Donna Lupardo is going to get the downwind. Her home is going to be impacted unless she's selling it, unless she got a.
Yeah, I know, but that's not good enough because it's not close enough. I want things like this right in their neighborhood. Will they approve it in Donna Lupardo's neighborhood or Jason Garner's neighborhood?
Right.
And next to their schools. Where are their schools? Where do their kids or grandkids go? Will they approve it there? You'll never see it next to a legislator's home or area or his community or within a mile of his house.
Right.
Or her house.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. So it's the usual, who's expendable? Can't they find an area that's far enough from homes and where they can somehow shield this or put it someplace? I don't know. Where else could they put something like this, or nothing, or nowhere, anywhere at all? Where could they put it? Is there area in all of New York State where you could put something like this?
Well, one interesting thing is that there's really no other facilities like this anywhere in the world. There's really two. One is in Belgium, and one is in South Korea. The one that's in South Korea is in a major industrial zone, like something that looks like maybe Newark. You know how Newark, New Jersey looks?
Oh,
or like
yeah.
Or Gary, Indiana, someplace like that. That's the way it looks.
Okay.
It's not in the middle of a downtown neighborhood, of a downtown village. I mean, this is a...
And what about the one in Belgium? What is it close to?
It's in another... I mean,
what's Belgium like?
It's in another heavy industrial area. The one in Korea just...
Well, that's just it. They need to put it in an industrial area, if at all, and stop this nonsense being near homes. What do you think is a safe area? I mean, how far do they need to be near any occupied homes?
Well,
5 miles, 3 miles. I mean, what would you suggest? What would you suggest?
Well, the other thing is, where it is, it could be fine if they raised the air stacks to the height of the surrounding hills, which I think is 300 feet, something like that. So they would have to.
So what are the air stacks? How high are they now?
Right now, it's 111 feet.
So you want to almost triple it, go to 300 feet.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that they could do to make this thing safer, but the DEC, they even covered that in their response document. They basically just said, our modeling shows that it's going to be fine.
Well, do they have any kind of special toxic, what do you call that, some kind of emissions to grab the toxins? What's the word for it that I'm trying to think of? It's getting late for me.
Emission controls?
My brain.
Emission?
Yeah, some kind of emission controls where they can absorb the emissions and somehow do something with them so they won't be toxic. Do they have any special...
I mean, yes, there are emission controls, but to suggest that emission controls can make it clean air that smells like daisies coming out of the smokestack, it's a myth. They can't ever get rid of all the toxins. They can cut it down. They can with various kinds of things, but you really just don't want a facility like this in the middle of a residential neighborhood. There's houses just right across the street and right next door.
Of course, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right next door, across the street, it's ridiculous.
It is
the usual nuttiness.
So what are you seeing? Do you want to what's your you want to do a COVID-19 check-in? What are you seeing? Do you think this is appropriate? What's your feelings on this whole thing?
On what? Are you talking to me or somebody else? I hear an echo again, so I'm thinking it's somebody else.
I was just talking to myself. Just ignore me.
No, but I hear an echo, so I'm thinking, is there somebody else there besides me and you? So you want to talk about what? COVID, what did you say? COVID-19?
The virus stuff, whatever is going on virus-wise.
It's total nuttiness, totally overblown. It's some kind of a major fear drama, and somebody has an agenda, some group, somebody to control people through fear and to just destroy our economy, destroy small business, get people, under some kind of a fear control mandate of some kind. It's ridiculous. The whole thing.
I'm
driving today on 81 all the way from Scranton to Binghamton. I hardly see any, compared to what I used to see, hardly any tractor trailers carrying the goods of our society. So there's much less transportation of goods, and this is going on for weeks, and they want weeks more, and who knows how much more. And what are we going to have? Major shortages? How are the people going to handle that? I feel like I'm in the middle of a war of some kind. Like we're going to have to ration food or something. It's beyond comprehension why people in our government, our elected officials, even locally in Broome County, are not shocked by this and even publicly asking for something definitely to change, to stop. What are you doing?
What do you mean to change?
How many cases you have? You're trying to shut down the whole country. You're trying to shut down the planet for a flu bug.
Right.
We've had so many flu bugs that they've scared us about for the past 20 years. 25 years.
I know.
It's like a game.
There was swine flu and bird flu and H1N1 and avian flu and how many different ones have there been? SARS and
just a whole bunch. It's like every couple of years.
Ebola.
To go wacky. Ebola, yeah. How come we don't hear anything about this in Africa? I'd like to know how many cases are in Africa. Is that continent exempt from this?
Well, Bill Gates is talking about experimenting with vaccines in Africa.
Yeah, well, they love to experiment on Africa. They're expendable too, and they use the vaccines. But what about COVID-19? Do they have any confirmed cases? Do they have any confirmed deaths? I haven't heard Africa mentioned at all.
Let me look it up.
Why is that? Yeah, look up it. See if you can look it up. Why is that continent out of the picture? And I haven't heard anything like Central America mentioned. I haven't heard South America mentioned.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
Well, maybe South America was mentioned. Maybe Venezuela, I'm trying to think.
Well, it says the mapper is undergoing maintenance. You may experience... Okay, so... I'm not sure if this is going to work. Remember, South America is still in... they're transitioning from summer to winter, so they're only now just... their flu season is probably just starting to begin.
Oh.
All right, it says...
And that's the other thing. Our temperatures are getting warmer, so we should see a decrease in cases. We're going into spring.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm looking for Africa.
Yeah.
There's South Africa. Is it just by country? Is it just by country and not by continent?
I guess by country. So anything in South Africa? Any count?
It says Republic Central African Republic is 3. South Africa is 1,353.
Oh, really? They do have a count. Okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean,
Hmm.
it looks like Nigeria.
What about Israel? What about Israel? I don't hear too much about Israel.
Okay, wait 1 second here. Unassigned Connecticut. Why is Connecticut in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? I'm trying to see. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to see where is the biggest outbreak in Africa. And I think it might be, is this Egypt?
Egypt, yeah.
Egypt has 710 cases. Okay, so what was your question?
What about Israel?
Israel. Let's see. Where is Israel? It's sort of over here. I always have trouble with these.
Oh, sorry.
Syria, Damascus, Baghdad, Mediterranean Sea, Jordan, Iraq. Where is Israel? Beirut, Damascus.
Mm.
Is Damascus Israel? No. Tel Aviv.
No.
Here we go. Tel Aviv. We have Israel confirmed 5,358 cases and 20 deaths.
Mm. So we got 20 deaths. So let's just shut down Israel and wipe out their economy. They got 20 deaths for the flu season, for this particular flu.
I know.
Sounds crazy to me. We got one confirmed case in my county, Susquehanna County.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we got businesses shut down. Actually, our gas is the lowest price I've ever seen for a long time. They're lower than New York, which we've never been, that I can remember. $2.17 a gallon today. Meanwhile, Broome County is like $2.36. So I don't know how that happened unless they removed some taxes.
No, what happened
Let's go.
is right at the same time that this whole virus thing struck, the energy markets first started tanking, oil and gas, and then the stock market crash happened right after that. So what that
I know, but how do we get so low? We have all these taxes. We're always higher than Broome County. How do we get 20 cents? Let's see, 17, 27, 37. 20 cents basically less than Broome County.
Maybe it's that.
I think Governor Wolf stopped some of the taxes. We've put so many taxes.
I see your point. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something happened that I have to look up and research.
Mm-hmm. All right, Vera. So I just wanted to put out this. I mean, do you want to? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I'm kind of feeling a little tired. Feeling like I want to wrap it up.
Yeah, me too. I know. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
thanks a lot for the program.
Thanks for calling in, and
You're welcome.
We're gonna have two call-ins tomorrow, one at 10 a.m. and one at 7 p.m. to talk about this. If you want to join one of them, that would be fine.
Okay.
But I'll keep in touch with you and just let you know what's going on. But thanks for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Hope you have a good night.
You're welcome. You too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye now.
All right, friends. So we're going to wrap things up here on the Bill Huston podcast. Once again, I survive on donations and grants. I really can appreciate donations in any amount. So, I got rid of myself. I didn't mean to do that. So here is tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Huston. That is the donate link. That's my PayPal. Bill Huston. Note the spelling. tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Huston. If you want to send me a snail mail, a check or a money order, you can go to William Huston. Make it out to William Huston, P.O. Box 22, Endicott, New York, 13761. Okay, friends, I am going to check the chat really quick. See it one more time if anybody has any questions or any issues. And if I can find the right window. Do it this way. I'm just checking. I'm going to check the chat. Well, I can't find the right window. Here. Is it? Where's the, where's my streaming window? Okay, that's not it. Here it is. Okay. I don't see hearing nothing in the chat. I'm going to sign off for now. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And be sure to hit the thumbs up, like the video, if you don't mind. And please subscribe to the Bill Huston Podcast on YouTube. That helps me a lot. It opens up new features for me if you subscribe. So there we go. I appreciate you for tuning in, friends, and I hope to see you next time. See you next time.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video. Okay.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away. That's tomorrow.